Now that's scary.
I love that there's some weather models behind.
Yeah, right. Now that is scary.
I love that. Hey, everybody, welcome back to Great DSA's Halloween show. Okay, most of us only get the chance to visit a mortuary, right, when a loved one has departed.
Right, right.
But I got the chance to sit down with a lady who not only visited the mortuary, not only did she work at the mortuary, but she lived at the mortuary.
No way.
Yeah,
That's
this
scary.
is for real scary. Watch it. Tell us a little bit about your experiences and what led you to write this novel, Rebecca.
Well, I was about 20 years old and newly married and expecting a baby, and we had few options on a place to live and a job, and out of the blue we got an offer for both by a mortuary up in Northern California, and as scary as that seemed at the time, we really didn't have many other options, so we took it.
So you had to think, Rebecca, oh my goodness, this is going to be unlike any experience I've ever had to make that your residence, but you did it.
I did it. I did it. It was, you know, at first it was really frightening. Our apartment is literally right off of the hallway of the mortuary, so you'd walk outside and a few feet down there was the embalming room and the chapels. And
oh my goodness. What kinds of things did you experience?
You know, I stayed inside for the first few months, I'd say, and because I didn't technically work there, my husband at the time did, and I helped after hours with simple things like vacuuming the chapels, collecting flower cards that were sent for the families, and I slowly made my way toward that embalming room, which is when I first came face to face with death.
For most of us, we attend a funeral, we attend services to you know, remember our dead, but to be up close with, what was it like?
You know, you're seeing it from the beginning to the end. When they come in, when the families come in and you meet with the families, and really their job is to make this experience a good experience for the family. But behind those closed doors is where you really see the process. And you know, I helped put makeup on, I helped dress the bodies, and it's really surreal. I remember applying makeup and just waiting for that body to kind of open its eyes and sit up at any moment and critique my makeup job. But they didn't, and you know, you kind of grow accustomed to it.
So now tell me this, when you're going to bed at night, understanding where you are living, are you anticipating there could be paranormal activity, or was there just paranormal activity? You know,
I think at some point my imagination did kind of get the better of me, but there were times where you could not argue what was going on.
Like what? Like what, Rebecca? Like what?
I would be alone in the apartment with the baby, and everyone else had gone home or they were out picking up a body, and I would hear a footstep outside of our front door, which is right off of the main hallway. And I would wait and listen, and I knew there was no one there, and sure enough, the footstep would come again. And I would just, you know, deadbolt the door and wait for people to come back. Or, you know, this long hallway ended with a wall and a mirror, and so you could watch yourself walk down the hallway. And there were a couple nights when I would see a light kind of floating behind me in the mirror, and I would run right back to the apartment.
A light?
A light.
Yeah, and you don't know who's
I don't know.
Because you're around so much of that.
Yeah, you know, you see it on occasion. It's not every day, but it does happen. There was a time when I was in the garage dusting the hearse, which is one of the duties after hours, and it's black and shiny, and I'm in there alone, and all of a sudden I see a shadow and the reflection pass behind me, a silhouette of a person, and nobody was in there.
So at what point do you think, I've got to find a condo or a duplex or something else, right?
Yeah.
Either that or you become very accustomed to living amongst spirits, as we do know exist, right? For people who doubt and say, is it a figment of our imagination, you say?
I say, I may have doubted before, but not anymore.
Wow. Rick, I got a question for you.
I don't know if I can do that.
I don't know about you. I was locked into that story just now, and I was watching you when you were talking to that woman. You were locked.
You know,
into
I get into it. I get really into it.
Do you ever get the willies when,
Well,
when you
yeah,
have stuff?
because she's talking about it like it's living in any. I said to her, I said, Rebecca, you have got to find a better real estate agent.
Yeah.
Right? There is something in the area aside from the mortuary, but she got so accustomed to.
She got the full experience.
The full experience.
and-
no jokes, no tricks, she lived there. She said, oh yeah, they embalmed two doors down from my room.
And Bridget, what about? I mean, what about her? I mean, what did she feel?
Well,
that she was.
I will tell you what,
encountering.
she's more comfortable now
Right?
with the idea of death and people dying and seeing that. And she had so much to tell. She said, I've got to put it in a book because it's just a little unusual.
Right.
Because it takes a special person
Yes,
to be able to
to
live
dust
in
the
something like
hearse
that.
at night. She said
Yes.
she's dusting the hearse.
But could you imagine going to sleep there?
No.
She did,
No.
every night. Hey, it's in the book.
That's
Pick
tough.
up the book.
That's
This is the book by Rebecca Fisher. It is available at Amazon and Barnes & Noble, RebeccaFisherBooks.com. And I got to tell you, I flipped through it. It's a good read. And that's not fiction. That's real life. That's real life scary. I love real life scary.
That's real
Stay
life.
with us, everybody. More Great Day Essay Scary. We come back.